What is up, guys? It is your boy Blu-rayDave back with another movie review. Yeah, I don't really do a lot of movie reviews. I mean, the last one I did was back in April when I talked about Infinity War. Tonight, this is definitely worth talking about the movie. So yeah, me and the Eradicator, we got to see Venom tonight. Unfortunately, my buddy Gav Gamer wouldn't be able to go with us because, you know, he likes to go to movies on the weekends, but I just wanted to do something really fun for my birthday, guys. So, just a heads up, this is a spoiler warning, so if you haven't seen the movie, don't watch this at all. Watch my other stuff. I'll have another video coming out after this, so let's get to it, shall we? So where do I even begin? I mean, yes, in a way, this movie did feel like an R-rated, sense in a way, because that was originally going to be the rating, but it's PG-13 because they wanted more families to go see it. The first part of the movie, like there's this big company, they work for this guy named Drake. We'll get to him a little later. So they sent on a spacecraft, and I don't know if they went to a comet. I mean, they kind of explained that a little bit. Like, they found a comet, and then they found the symbiote. So I think it was it 3 symbiotes? The last time I checked, it was like black, maybe like a darkish, purplish, reddish type of thing, and yellow. I was concerned about the yellow one. Like, who was the yellow one? So they crash land on Earth, but one of the survivors who survived was J. Jonah Jameson's son, who is an astronaut. Because last time we saw his son in a Spider-Man movie was Spider-Man 2. He got a little bit of screen time, but I'm hoping this version of him didn't die. But what I like about this, though, is that the symbiote, like the Venom, he just teleports himself to other different people, but then again, he is killing them in the inside. Unless if he decides he wants them to be alive, like if they're worth it. So Venom really starts out as a bad guy at first, but he becomes a good guy in the ending, which we'll get to that later. So, Eddie Brock. Oh my gosh, Eddie Brock. I had a feeling like he was involved with the news somewhat. I didn't know he had like a show, and his girlfriend Annie, is that how you pronounce her name, or is it Anne? I don't know. It's like Anne. So, let me know what you think in the comments, guys. So, yeah. So, and he was interviewing millionaire Drake, and the actor, though, guys, I think that actor who played Drake, I think he played Bodhi in Star Wars Rogue One. Because I recognize the voice and then, like, the face seems familiar. Like, oh, it's Bodhi, you know? Like, I had no idea he played a bad guy, you know? So, this gets really interesting where Eddie Brock is asking Drake about... Because, you see, before this, let's see... Eddie Brock's fiance was sleeping, and then he, snitched on her laptop and found out secrets about Drake, and then he exposed them on the news. So the day after that, he got fired, and then his engagement was done. And for the next 6 months, he's just been miserable, you know? So this one doctor, I can't remember her name, sorry guys, but like Jenny Slate, right? Yeah, I recognize her in some movies. When I first saw the trailers, I didn't think I was going to like her character just because she looked kind of like one of the annoying characters, but really she's just a supportive character. So she goes to Eddie outside of a store talking about the symbiotes. But before that, Eddie goes to this, like, the little store, yeah. He talks to this, I guess that's the owner, like, the lady, like, I think she does speak Mandarin, but I don't think they really explain, like, her little backstory, like, where she's from. And then she gets robbed, and Eddie just leaves, and then, yes, Jenny Slate's character, she meets Eddie, and then they go to the business where she works at. Like she was off, but then she had to go back just because she was convincing Eddie that she's telling the truth. And then she lets him in all by himself in the lab and, let him take pictures. So he did take pictures. And there was this friend of his who lived on the street. She was captured. Like, that's caught me by surprise. Like, oh, I thought they killed her off. But no, like, the venom was taking over her. And he had to break the door, but the venom took him over. But before we get into that, there's this one scene in the movie that really ticked me off. Okay, so when they start human trials, the first guy they tested on was Isaac, right? And Drake explains to him, like, he's like, Isaac, it's a biblical name, right? And he's like, he's supposed to sacrifice himself, like he's speaking from the Bible. But what really caught me off guard was that he said, God abandoned us, but I won't abandon you. Like, I'm like freaking out in my head, like, really? God doesn't abandon us. Like, God has his reasons. Like, he says no all the time because, like, it's either we're not ready for this thing or this is not our time, so we need to accept that, okay? I have accepted it a lot because I know that God is telling me no because he knows me very well. And afterwards, when Isaac was being tested and then the venom came out of him, he just died like that. So, with Eddie Brock now, he was doing all these cool stunts, like, the venom was taking over, and then he was riding on the motorcycle, and then, like I said, there was all these crazy stunts. And Venom, he starts out to be very dark, very serious, but later on in the film, he becomes more funny because today in school, my friends, they were like, oh, I saw the Venom movie, it's really funny. Because you see, when you're making a character's movie like this, it has to be dark in a way. I think I've talked about this in a video before. If I did, let me know in the comments. I just did not expect Venom to become hilarious. I thought that was a pretty cool detail. So he makes an agreement with Eddie Brock, like, oh my gosh, the eating heads off part. I mean, I know they don't show that a lot, but I'm just like, wow. Like, I didn't get scared at all. It just really surprised me. It caught me by surprise, but let's see. Well, let's see. Before that scene, I know I'm getting a little mixed up here with the scenes, guys. Like, Eddie goes back to his apartment. He feels a little sick after the venom is taking him over, and he's always hungry all the time. That's why, like, the venom took him over. He's so hungry all the time. And, he can't have an MRI because if you remember in Spider-Man 3, there's specific, like, sounds of noises that will mess up Venom. Like, he won't be able to work. He would just, like, stay. It's like he would either get off of your body or just stay inside your body until the coast is clear. So, not every sound affects Venom. There's just, like, loud noises. So Eddie has some tater tots, and I didn't think this was gonna happen, but he threw up. Like, they show a little bit of the barf, but I thought I felt the flavor. Like, oh my gosh! Like, I was eating popcorn. Like, oh, I thought I threw up. Like, oh my gosh! But luckily they didn't show all that though. Oh man! And then that one scene where, like, I wouldn't say like the cops or the FBI, but like the guys who are working for Drake, so like Jenny Slate's character told Drake because she didn't want to tell him, but she did. She had no other choice, and they had to put a symbiote in her, and they killed her off. And they go to Eddie's apartment, and they start attacking him, but he does, like, again, he does all these crazy stunts. Like, that is so cool. There's some abilities that I didn't know, like, he can do. Like, Venom's scenes, though, what also caught me by surprise is that he possessed a dog. He just possessed a dog, and then he possessed a little girl. Like, really? Why? And Drake's man brings Eddie Brock out into the woods because Eddie has the venom off after the MRI has happened because, you know, he was forced to. So his ex actually comes in with the venom and she starts killing the guys, and then she starts kissing him like there's a female venom, but then again, like it's the ex. So, and Venom wanted to leave her behind because, yeah, first of all, Venom, he realized like where he came from, like he wanted to bring his whole army of symbiotes to take over the world, but now he's realizing like how amazing our world is, like, you know, in different ways. He's just like, no, I don't want them. So there's another rocket ship that Drake is going to send. And Drake, he actually has a symbiote on him. So what type of venom is that, guys? Let me know in the comments, because it's really not Carnage. Yeah, so they had this big fight, like Venom versus Venom, let's just call it that. And things just start going crazy, and then Venom tells the other Venom, like, have a nice life. So he grabs a sword, he destroys the rocket ship, and Drake and the symbiote dies. Well, let's see. Well, the sword part, Eddie got stabbed, but Venom, he went back on him because, like, the other Venom ripped him off, you know. And when the rocket ship exploded, Venom said, like, goodbye, Eddie, but I had a feeling like he's not dead. So at the ending, like when Eddie is talking to his ex, I knew like there was the voice, like, oh my gosh. And he was just so funny, like, I'm hungry. So he goes to the little store, and then he's like, well, Eddie's just like to the Venom, how about some tater tots and chocolate? And Venom's like, oh yes. Actually, I remember like in the motorcycle scene, Eddie, he was like, oh yes. Something like that. And the same robber comes in, and then Venom just takes him over. Because, you see, Eddie explained to Venom, like, how this works. Like, you can't bite people's heads off unless if they're bad. Do not hurt the good guys. And then when the bad guy comes, Venom's like, is this the guy? Like, yeah. So, that one scene where he's just, like, intimidating the crap out of that guy in The Turd in the Wind. Oh, my gosh. I thought that was hilarious, because I didn't caught that on in one of the trailers until Hizzy brought it up, like, oh, I didn't caught that on, so anyways, he bit his head off, and then, Eddie was like, I have a parasite, because he kept saying in the movie, in Venom, he's just like, parasite, like, yeah, that's what you are, and then Venom's like, apologize, like, okay, I'm sorry. And, there were some post-credit scenes, like, the reveal of Carnage, like, it was just a red hand, like, I guess, like, some sort of like psych ward jail. And the most important post-credit scene of all time, guys, was just a clip of Into the Spider-Verse that we're going to see this December. So it was like, at the end it was like, meanwhile in the other universe, and at the ending it was just like, to be continued. This was a longer post-credit scene, so yes, so these movies connect. So if this connects the Spider-Man trilogy, like Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield's, that would be awesome. Yeah, so this is a movie that I think I recommend for just the guys to watch, not for the women. Unless if there's if they're like strong women out there who love these kind of movies and they want to watch them, but. Yeah, I'm just gonna buy this movie when it comes out because my mom doesn't mind if I watch them. Since I'm an adult now, I get to buy whatever movies I'm gonna buy now, as long as I'm like careful with them, because I know good movies when I see them. Still, it was close to having an R-rated feel. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching my movie review on Venom. I hope you enjoyed it. If you guys enjoyed the film as much as we did, drop a like, or leave me in the comments. Yes, so please make sure to like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already, and stay tuned for a birthday video coming up right after this. Yeah, so thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for buying me. Lord be with you guys. Always love you guys. Peace out, guys.